Hello and welcome back to my channel. So I thought I'd just do a quick overview of some alterations that I've made to my water cooling build. So I've actually gone ahead, if you've followed the previous video, I was talking about how I'd actually modified an AIO cooler to integrate like actual proper tubing and like a water block for a GPU. So obviously since then I actually had some trouble just with the load on the pump. So obviously to avoid any disasters, I went ahead and I actually upgraded all of that. So just a quick overview of the kind of parts that I went for. So in terms of CPU block itself, because obviously with the AIO the pump's integrated with the actual cooler itself, I went for a Phanteks Glacier C350i CPU water block. I believe this is a nickel block, and it's got some RGB in there as well. Obviously I'm not too crazy on the RGB, but as long as it's tasteful, then it's all good. So then connected to that, I've also upgraded the radiator. So it was, I believe the AIO was a Coolmaster 240 or something like that, but it was a double rad. So I went for the EK Waterblocks Coolstream SE Classic 360 radiator. So this is a slim triple fan radiator. So obviously with that increased surface area, obviously going to get more cooling, high volume of liquid, so you're going to get more of that heat soak into the system. Hopefully I'll be able to put the fan speed slower over time once I've done some proper tests and whatnot. So coming out of that, I've actually I increased the tubing size. It was I can't remember the exact size, but it was essentially as small as you could realistically go. I've gone for so in Imperial it's 5/8 outer diameter with 3/8 inner diameter, and then in metric that's a 1610 millimeter. So yeah, the increased volume, obviously you're going to get that increased flow, and you're going to be able to pick up more of that heat throughout the system. Again, adding to the volume in the total loop without having a radiator that's too large. So then, speaking of radiators, moving on to that, I actually went for a Phanteks Glacier R220C. So this, I believe, is a redone version of the original, which essentially just has RGB in it. Other notable changes that I noticed, I couldn't actually get hold of the original one. It had a heatsink on the back, which they seem to have removed with the C. So it is essentially a pump top, I suppose you could call it. So it takes a DDC pump, which I did buy as well. So I went for an EK Waterblocks again, a DDC pump, the 4.2 one. It's PWM, and with this DDC, after doing a little bit of research, it seems that no one uses the stock pump cap that comes with the DDC. I forget the company, but there's one company that essentially makes all of them, and then other companies like EK and whatnot, just they'll place their own top to it and then repackage that up like a white label sort of thing. So yeah, I'm not running at 100%. The DDC pump, it was between that and a D5 pump, which seems to be the two top contenders for pumps these days. I quite liked the Phanteks reservoir enough so that I was able to be swayed towards the DDC pump there. It's all right. I don't run it 100%, like I was saying, because it can be a little bit loud actually. I'd heard that they do overheat if you run them at 100%. I don't know if that's with the lesser versions or whatnot, but to be honest, seems to be running fine. I've got it just at 50%. No issues really. Yeah, it's not a water park. It doesn't need to be at 100%. Yeah, it's working fine so far. So I suppose rounding off, liquid wise, I went for a premix. I tend to always just go for a premix. It saves a lot of hassle. Again, staying within the EK brand for no particular reason, apart from consistency. I just went for the EK Cryo Fluid Navy Blue 1 litre premix. So in the machine that you see in the video, it uses pretty much exactly half a litre or 500 millilitres. So that's pretty good. It just meaning that with this size, I can actually get 2 kind of refills out of 1. Pricing wise, the liquid, it wasn't extortionate, so I paid about £6.50 or so just for that 1 litre. So if you think you're getting if I'm getting 2 loads out of that, that's just £3.50. So it's fairly low overhead cost. I mean, I'm not looking to replace the liquid that often, maybe tops every 6 months, every 4 months, or if something changes. So £3.50 a load, not too bad. Yeah, I mean, in terms of fans, the only thing I changed, I actually went for some static pressure fans. I'd heard good things about the EK Vardar Evo, even though I think the original line of them, supposedly a lot of them were dead on arrival. I've not had any issues. I went for the 500 to 220 or 2200 RPM fans in the 120 format. I bought 3 of them to go with the triple rad, performing quite well. The shape of them is quite nice. If I could have more easily got hold of some Noctua fans or something, like some of those Redux ones or whatever they're called, the grey ones, I may have gone for those. But for the price point, I think that these Vardar fans are pretty good. And again, I wouldn't have gone for the stock. I tend to not like the cream and brown color scheme that the original fans have for the Noctua. But yeah, obviously I went for the EK ones, so that's fine. And then apart from that, I think the only other thing I bought was a Y splitter for the fan. So obviously being 3 fans, what I've done is I've plugged 1 splitter into the CPU header, and then I've got 1 fan in the channel A for the splitter, and then in channel B I've got another splitter that then splits the 2 fans. Checking the wattage seemed to be fine actually, because I think they don't consume more than 5 watts a piece or something like that. So I can't remember what the upper limit is. It may be 10-15 or something. I've not had any issues. Nothing's exploded so far. I can't remember the exact number, but it was under the amount that the actual connector was rated for, so no issues there. I guess that pretty much rounds it up. So yeah, going well. I've got some new temps. I didn't really benchmark my older rig under load, etc. But it looks like it's gone from, we're looking at, so the AIO rig looks like it was idling at about 37, kind of 36 to 37. Let's call it, if you actually do anything and move, let's say 40 degrees. And then with the new setup, we're looking more towards the 32 and 34 sort of area. Let's call it 33. So that is a performance increase just in terms of idling. And then in terms of under load, again, it seems that nothing really goes over 60 degrees or 50 degrees in between there. I'd need to double check, maybe with a follow-up video with some more detailed benchmarks in specific games to see if anything's throttling or anything like that. But you know, for me, this is as much a learning experience as anything else. Obviously, I've been messing with computers for a long time, but in terms of these kind of high-end water cooling performance builds, it's still relatively new to me. but yeah, I feel like I'm getting there with the rig. I'm getting to a good point where I'm quite happy with the performance, etc. So yeah, I guess that about rounds it off. If you've listened this far into the video, well done. Thanks for listening. As a reward, I've got a little clip of my cat reacting to a new Roomba type Hoover that I bought. I'd seen many videos online of cats riding them, but it seems this cat, a bit suspicious, but we'll see how it gets on. Hopefully it doesn't cause it too much stress. Have a good one, and speak again soon.